Halloween is about a few things. The boogeyman lurking under your bed, things going bump in the night, getting candy, Street Fighter 2, and most importantly, bathing in the blood of your enemies. But what about at bedtime? After the trick-or-treating, after the horror movies that you shouldn't have been watching at your age, but you did anyway and you loved it. When you were going to sleep and you wanted a bedtime story. But not no goddamn Little Engine that could. Something thrilling, something for children. But yet, there's something underneath, something dark and disturbing that maybe you shouldn't be seeing. Allow me to introduce you to one R.L. Stine, a horror writer, but not one like Stephen King, no. See, his books were directed solely at children. Because kids should have horror books, right? That's good for them. So, R.L. Stine took the bookshelves in scholastic book fairs by storm with a little-known book called Goosebumps. A little-known book that was sure to scare and disturb children. That book, of course, was titled Bluey. Just blue. The book was titled Goosebumps, Welcome to Dead House. Pretty scary, right? Yeah, that'll put some cherries on your chest or whatever. Welcome to Dead House was immediately followed by Stay Out of the Basement, with Monster Blood and Say Cheese and Die following later on that year. Goosebumps is well known for its classic books like Night of the Living Dummy, The Haunted Mask. But what about those R.L. Stine books that you forgot about? What about the Goosebumps that let's just say maybe weren't so great? What about the ones that didn't scare, that were just easily forgotten among a sea of amazing Goosebumps books? The ones that didn't feel goosebumpy. Beware the Snowman. Why I'm Afraid of Bees. Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes. And of course, Street Fighter 2 Ultimate Edition. The ones that never really had a chance. Before you ask, no, none of them are great. Some of them are just downright bad. Matter of fact, none of them are really good, but they still deserve their flowers. If we didn't have all these less than good Goosebumps books, then I don't think the great ones would really stand out that much. Why I'm Afraid of Bees. Boy afraid of bees? Now he be. Boy not afraid of bees no more. That one came out 1 month before One Day at Horrorland. I mean, it's night and day. It's literally night and day between these two. Night and go eat worms. Boy loves worms. Boy keeps worms. Boy's worms become his mom. Paper mache Robin kills worm mom with arrow. Split twain. Robin arrow. And then a giant butterfly flies in. That's how that book ends. That one came out before Bad Hair Day. The Barking Ghost. Boy sees dogs people can't see. Boy and friend find out ghost dogs are in fact people ghosts. Ghosts switch bodies with the boy and the friend. And then that came out right before the horror at Camp Jelly Jam. Okay, maybe that one wasn't so great. But you see, the bad books are necessary in order to have the great books, like Night of the Living Dummy, Night of the Living Dummy 2, Street Fighter 2. But the book I'm specifically referring to today, the underdog, the one that I grew up with, it's called Calling All Creeps. Calling All Creeps is about this boy named Ricky the Rat. Ricky is bullied by all the kids in school. They all call him Ricky the Rat. He's not a rat. And so one night, he sneaks into the school newspaper room where there's this girl named Tasha, and Tasha bullies him more than anyone.
So he writes in the school paper,
calling all creeps. If you're a real creep,
message, call Tasha. Some people in the episode call her Tasha. I don't know why I said it just then. Her name is Tasha. Call Tasha at this phone number
at 555.
And then obviously, because he left his wet, muddy footprints in the fucking Googa like a rat would do. The room was the word I was forgetting. Of course, Tasha finds out and changes it to calling all creeps, call Ricky the Rat at this number. The only person in the school that does not bully Ricky is a girl named Iris. She just moved here and she doesn't know that everybody hates Ricky yet. So they obviously become friends. Aww. And then later that night, Ricky keeps getting phone calls saying the creeps are ready and when are the creeps meeting?
Iris, I can't talk to you now.
I laid my cat down on her back.
Huh? What?
Her little chicken leg.
Who is this?
I was like, if I just like hump, but like on her tummy, like that's not weird. Like, whatever. And then I humped it, and it kept going,
Hello?
I came all over the cat.
And the very next day, no one at the school even so much as acknowledges Ricky. No one talks to him, no one bullies him. Iris is the only one that talks to him, and she only talks to him because there's paint coming out of his locker, and it says, call all creeps. Actually, no, it says, when will all the creeps meet in his locker on the door. Which is crazy. And Iris invites Ricky to go shopping for baking supplies tomorrow. For the school bake sale that they're doing. Ricky's got himself a little date. And then that night when the phone keeps going off, he takes it off the ringer and is like, hopefully they won't call now. So he wakes up at 7 in the morning, if I can push his phone back on the ringer, and then it immediately blows up. He answers and it says, don't ever leave us off the hook again. You gotta keep in contact with the creeps. And so for whatever reason, Ricky decides his next best course of action is to take a walk through the woods where he falls into a fucking pit trap where he's greeted by all three of his bullies, like his main bullies, and they all start apologizing and telling him they didn't know and they were sorry, and he was like, what the fuck is happening over here? And then, right before Ricky's eyes, they turn into these reptilian monsters called the creeps. And they say, we got your signal. What's the plan? And he was like, plan? What plan? And the monsters are like, we gotta get all the kids at school to eat our identity seeds so they can turn into creeps like us. And so Ricky's like, I don't have a plan. And so one of them is like, would it be a good plan to sneak it into the food at school? And Ricky's like, yeah, that would totally be a good idea. And so the next day, the creeps make Ricky put the identity seeds into the tuna surprise.
No. That's the tuna surprise. No one eats the tuna surprise.
And so he watches all the kids as they don't get the tuna surprise because no one at the school eats the tuna surprise. I didn't mention that earlier, but it's important. But no one gets the tuna surprise except for Iris, and Ricky stops her from eating it. But then Iris asks him if he's still good to go baking shopping with her later. And he's like, I can't talk right now, Iris, in a really rude tone. And Iris didn't like that, so she walked away. And I forgot to mention earlier, the reason the creeps were like, apologizing and saying, we got your message. Basically, they think Ricky here, the fucking, this guy, Chuck E. Cheese looking ass, is, the commander of the creeps. It then jumps to Ricky being back in the creeps hideout where they're saying the plan failed. And it is then when Iris reveals herself as the sergeant of the creeps. And she's like, that's because the first plan was It's now when Iris reveals to the creeps that she is the sergeant and Ricky's right-hand man, which she later admits to Ricky that was a lie. And she says that the original plan was just a test, and they should actually put the identity seeds in something sweet that kids want to eat. So they all agree to put the identity seeds in the cookies that they're going to make for the bake sale tomorrow. Well, now we're at the bake sale, and oh boy. Ricky and Iris are there to try to prevent anyone that's not a creep to eat the cookies. But it gets to a point where everyone grabs a cookie, and so Ricky runs up to the podium to make a public service announcement to try to warn everybody not to eat the cookies. But then everyone just keeps making fun of him and calling him Ricky the Rat. That is very upsetting to him. So, what he did was he told everyone to enjoy their cookies, and Iris begs him to stop, but he says, "I'm sorry, Iris. I'm sorry." And she begs and pleads and tries to get him to stop. The kids eventually do eat the cookies after he said that. So Iris asks him what he's gonna do now that everyone's creeps, and he said, if he can't beat them, join them. And so he eats a cookie, and Iris starts to scream, and now she's surrounded in a cafeteria full of creeps as the only human, and that's how it ends. So yeah, it's not a great book. It's not even a good book, but it's got, I don't know, it's got a nice little charm. It's got a nice little quirk to it that makes it feel homey and familiar. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share it with all your friends. Hit that little bell so you get notifications. It's been almost a full year since I've recorded a YouTube video. I've had a fuck-ass year, but that's alright. It's over now. I mean, it was over a while ago, but that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna try to make as many videos as I can, especially with October coming up. I want at least 1 year I want to do all 4 videos that I planned, but I'm probably not going to, given that it's September 25th and I do not have my first Halloween video written. I mean, this is the Halloween video, but it wasn't meant to be released in October. It was just meant to be released when it was done being edited. Thank you, Goomty, for editing this video and that amazing Goosebumps intro, which you agreed to do. You agreed to edit that, so don't forget. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I love you. I missed you. Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.